So, good afternoon, students. It's a Sunday and we are doing this chapter. So, hopefully, I have not spoiled your Sunday. Okay. So, we were doing chapter 2 from secretarial practice, that is joint stock company, and we are already done with the introduction part. We are done with the features of the company, meaning of the company, and now we will be doing types of the company. So, we will discuss what are the different types of company, on what basis they have made these types, because when we were studying in OC, I think we have done only two types, that is we had done two types, that is private company and public company. But I think in last lecture only I told you that almost there are like 17 types of companies we are going to study now. So let's start. We won't waste our time. Okay, much? Okay. The first one means, first of all, they have made the 5 bases. What are the 5 bases of types of company? The first one, it is on the basis of incorporation. The second one, it is on the basis of number of members, on the basis of liability of members, on the basis of control and other types. So first type, that is on the basis of incorporation. There are 2 types of companies which are existing under this base. That first one, it is statutory company, and the second one, it is registered company. So what is statutory company? Statutory company, they are incorporated by the special act which is passed by the state or central legislative. Example, that is Central Reserve Bank of India or State Bank of India, Unit Trust of India, Life Insurance Corporation. These are the examples of statutory companies. They are formed because of passing of a special act by the central or state legislative. Then the second one, it is registered type company, registered company, and these companies, they are incorporated under Companies Act 2013. They are registered under Companies Act 2013. Means the normal companies which we used to deal in a market, that is any example you can take, these are the like Reliance or you can say Birla, these are the registered companies. The second base on which the classification has been made, it is on the basis of number of members. Basically, there are 3 types of companies. The first one, it is a private company, because this private company, it means a company having minimum paid up share capital as may be prescribed by the law or as may be prescribed by the articles. Usually, it has a minimum 1 lakh rupees paid up share capital. Then there is a restriction on rights of members to transfer their shares. Again, the number of shareholders or number of the members, they are restricted to the 200 only. And again, they are prohibited from any kind of invitation to public for subscription of their securities or shares or any other thing. They are not allowed to make a public invitation for subscribing their shares. So major, what you can say or what you can observe is that it has a limitation of 200 members. And if all above conditions they are fulfilled by any company, that company is known as a private company. And there is a one rule or one clause which is there in the company, is that they needed to add the word private limited, because if they only add the word limited, it means it is a public limited company. So for being identified as a private limited, they need to add those words PVT limited or private limited. The second type, it is public company. The definition, it is very easy. The company which is not a private, it is known as a public company. There is no transfer, there is no restriction on transfer of shares, there is no limitation on maximum number of members. That is, minimum they require 7 members, and for a private company they require minimum 2. For public company they require minimum 7. And there is no restriction on transfer of shares or there is no restriction on number of members. Again, they have minimum paid up share capital as may be prescribed by its articles. Usually, it is limited to the 5 lakh of rupees, minimum 5 lakh of rupees. So, depend upon articles again. And again, they do not prohibit any public invitation. Means they can invite a public for subscribing their shares. Means that we know that issue of IPO, that is initial public offer, it is a kind of invitation to the public for subscribing their shares. Then the third type, on the basis of number of members, it is a 1-person company. From the name itself, you can conclude that this company has only 1 person as a member. Again, it is a private limited company, so it has to fulfill all legal requirements of private companies. And this concept of one person company, it came through Companies Act 2013, and it is a company which is operated by the single promoter or single member, or you can say it is a better form of business other than the sole proprietorship, because the liabilities of the member, it is limited. Again, the one person company, they can have one or more directors, and again there is no need to hold AGM, that is annual general meeting. Then the third basis on which the classification is made, the third basis, it is on basis of liability of member. There are basically three companies which are there. That is company limited by share, company limited by guarantee, and company which has unlimited liability. The company limited by shares, that concept, it is given in section 2 subsection 22. This type of companies have a share capital, and liability of the member, it is limited to the unpaid part of face value of the shares purchased by them or purchased by the members. During the existence of the company or even the event of winding up, the member are called up to pay upon the unpaid amount, and they won't be responsible for any other amount beyond their unpaid share on the face value of the share. And that company, it may be a public company or it may be a private company. Both of them, they have this feature of limited liability. Company limited by guarantee, the concept, it is given in section 2 subsection 21, that these type of companies may or may not have share capital, because some companies, they have share capital as well as they have a guarantee. Means these are the companies which are limited by shares and guarantee as well, but majorly they may have there is this concept, or they may not have share capital. Each member promise to pay a fixed sum of money, specified in a memorandum of association, in the event of liquidation of company. So for the payment of debts and liabilities, so that a member, he will be liable for only that share of money which he promised to pay. So he won't be liable for any amount which is beyond that guarantee given by him. So majorly such companies, they are non-profit companies, like they are those companies that are formed for the promotion of art or a social, science or culture or charity purpose, for a sports purpose or some other similar purposes. So basically these companies, they have a guarantee, they have a limited liability too. Unlimited liability company, section 2 subsection 92, a company not having any limit on the liability of member, it is known as unlimited company. These members, they are fully liable for all debts of the company. And unlimited company also, it can be a private, it can be a public, it can be a one person company. But in India, we don't deal in such kind of companies. Okay. The fourth type, which is we are doing on the basis of control. Majorly there are two companies if you are talking about the control. The first one is a holding company, and second one is a subsidiary company. A holding company, it is a company which holds more than one half of the total share capital of another company, or has a power to appoint or remove major or all of the board of directors of another company. So that is company known as a holding company, which has a hold on other companies. Like they will enjoy that holding through the shares, or they will enjoy this holding through the powers, voting powers. Means they will have more than 1/4 of share, one and a half of share capital of the company, or they will have a power to appoint or to remove board of directors of that another company. Then accordingly, subsidiary company mentioned in section 2 subsection 87. Subsidiary company is a just opposite of holding company. Means the company which we are talking, that they will hold more than one and a half of share capital in another company. That another company, it is a holding subsidiary company. It is a company which is controlled by the holding company, and such control is possible because as we said earlier, or as we discussed, that holding company purchased more than 50% of share capital, or they have a power to appoint and remove all or the majority of its directors. Then last type of the companies, that is other types of companies. There are certain types which are not included in those four bases, other types companies. The first one is a government company. Section 2 subsection 45 says government company, means any company which is not in which not less than 51% of paid up share capital is held by the central government or state government, or partly by central government, partly by state government, or central government and two or more state governments. So government company, it can be a public company, it can be a private company, and in fact it is a company registered and incorporated under Companies Act 2013. So it is not like that it is a government company, so it will incorporate under Special Act, because if any company is incorporated under Special Act, it is known as statutory company. Exactly. So it is incorporated under Indian Companies Act 2013. Like we have example Hindustan Machine Tools Limited, then Steel Authority of India Limited, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, then Coal India Limited, National Oil Natural Gas Corporation Limited, ONGC, which is famous. All these are the government companies. So basically more than 51% of paid up share capital is must be owned by the government. Either it is central or state or both of them or anything like that. Second type, it is a foreign company. It means a company which is incorporated outside India, but it having a place of business in India, like Nestle India Limited, then Bata Limited, then Whirlpool Corporation. These are the foreign companies that are incorporated outside India, but they have their place of business in India. Dormant company, if company is registered for a future project or has not made any significant accounting transaction in the last 2 years, or has not filed any financial statement or annual returns in last 2 years, after making application under section 455, it can be called as a dormant company. Dormant means you can call it as a sleeping company, because these companies, they are not active, or they are formed for something future project purpose. So they will gain that active status when that project is started. So they are inactive or they are registered for a future purpose, then they haven't made any transaction of a significant accounting transaction, or they haven't filed any kind of annual returns or income statement. Such company under section 455 after making application is called as dormant company. Then the listed company, fourth type. Section 2 subsection 52 states that listed company means a company which has any of its securities listed on any of the recognized stock exchange. A public limited company may be a listed company or unlisted company, and a listed company will also have to follow the SEBI's guidelines and provisions of Companies Act 2013. So what is listed company? Those companies which are trading on a like stock exchange, like those companies who are registered on any stock exchange. It's not only Bombay Stock Exchange or National Stock Exchange. Any stock exchange, those are known as listed companies. Majorly private companies, they are listed companies, because those, as we discussed, that private, no, my mistake. Only public companies, they are listed companies, because private companies, they do not have those authority to ask for any public deposit or for a subscription. So public limited companies, they can be listed or they can be unlisted. Okay. Then the fifth type, it is a small company, because as per section 2 subsection 85, the small company means any company which is other than a public company, which has a paid up share capital of not exceeding 50 lakh or as higher amount as may be prescribed. So paid up share capital, it may not be more than, or it is not more than 50 lakh. Then turnover of which, as per the last P&L account, does not exceed 2 crore or any such higher amount. So the private company, or one-person company, or company other than public company, they can be a small company, because as we know that public company, they are operating on large scale. Sixth type is associated company. Section 2 subsection 6 says that an associate company is a one over which another company exercises significant degree of control, which is less than the degree of control exercised over subsidiary company. So associate company, it means it is a, you cannot say it is actually a subsidiary company, because associate company, it means there is another company which is having a control over that company, but it may not be like a subsidiary company, because in subsidiary company more than 50% of capital it is owned by that holding company, or that holding company, they have a power to remove the directors and all that stuff. So in case of associate company, they can influence the major decisions, but they do not hold more than 50% of capital, or they may not hold that much of power. So they can influence, or they have that degree of control, but they have that but the degree of control as exists in a case of subsidiary company, it is less than that. Okay. The associate company in relation to another company means a company in which other company has a significant influence. So it means they may be holding 30%, 40%, 45% share capital. So they are not in position to dominate it, or they are not in position to control that company as a subsidiary, but they can influence a decision. Okay, so it is not a subsidiary company. For that purpose, that significant influence, it means control at least 20% of share capital of business or business decision under the agreement. So basically, significant influence means they are saying more than 20% of control they have, or more than 20% of share capital they have, but they do not subscribe, or they do not have more than 51% or more than 50% of share capital. Because in case of subsidiary company, that holding share capital, it is more than one and a half, but in case of associate company, the holding share capital, it is more than 20% but less than 50%. And the last one, that is company not for profit. The section 8 under such company, they are registered under section 8. Majorly these companies, they are formed for the purpose of charity, culture, or any sports activity, for a promotion purpose, for social welfare. Means they are not oriented towards the profit. Okay. So we have done with this what you can say, we are done with this chapter, and what I want you is to do, just wait a minute. Just came to the question 7, and you need to write answers for question 5, that is features of limited liability company, and then question 6 and question 8. From question 7 you need to write 5, 6 and 8. Okay, and the rest of those objectives, try to solve them in book only, book itself, because you don't have to write them in your notebook. So try to solve them on a textbook only, because you have that space, and solve it with the pencil. So pen leke please wo gandagi mat karo yaar. Okay, so solve your MCQs from the books. Okay, in the notebook, textbook only. Solve MCQs in a textbook only. And from question 7 you need to write that 5th question, 6th and 7, 8 and okay, 5, 6, 8. From question 7, that is answer the following questions. You need to write 5, 6 and 8, and you have to solve those MCQs in textbook only. Okay, so we are done with the chapter 2, and in the next lecture we will be doing that another concept, or that next chapter, which is known as the formation of a company, documents which are relating for that formation. So these are the 2 chapters. That formation of company, it is the 3rd chapter, and document related for formation of company, it is the 4th chapter. Okay, so long journey is ahead. Okay, we will be doing it. So read out whatever we have studied, and if you have any kind of doubts, let me know. We will solve it in your lecture, or I will make another video for that purpose. Okay, so मिलते हैं बाद में. संडे है, एंजॉय करो, रिलैक्स करो. मिलते हैं, बाय बाय.